You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink, right? So the way I see this is that it's very important for us to start with the change internally. Hey everyone, welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bello with chrisbello.com. Today we're going to be talking about how you need to be the change. And there is that Gandhi quote, be the change you wish to see in this world. I really love that because ultimately, if you want to see a certain result in the world or in your community or within your friends' network, you have to start by becoming the person you need to be in order to attract those types of people that you'd like to be like or you'd like to be around. And so a lot of times we are stuck in a bit of a rut, or we feel like maybe we wish we had friends at a higher level or doing more, or we're kind of tired of the crabs in the bucket in our life pulling us down as we try to escape to a next level. We always hear about the haters and family members that don't believe in what you're working on, and people who tell you to just quit what you're doing and just go get a safe job, and you're never going to make it, things like that. And you have to really be sure to be intentional about the type of person that you are at the moment and the person that you are becoming, because you do have control over that. And while you can't impact exactly what other people say or how they think or what they tell you directly, you do have an impact on your environment and what you choose to allow. There's another really cool quote that I always tell people when they're telling me that people are holding them back or they're tired of being stuck in a certain environment, things like that. You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. So while you can't necessarily change other people, you can't force them to change or shift their beliefs or anything like that. You can try, you can try to help them out and point them in the right direction, but ultimately you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink, right? So the way I see this is that it's very important for us to start with the change internally. When we start to become a better person and wake up earlier and get our workout in and stop making excuses, we can start to influence others around us positively, who can either get attracted to us if they are of a similar mindset and they want to be like you. And then you'll repel people who are not like that or who are of different beliefs. I had this conversation with a friend yesterday, and we were just chatting about how, when my fiance and I moved to Denver, how was it in terms of us blending in and making friends and things like that. And he was saying how his wife struggled when she first moved here for the first year or so, because everyone already had their friends. It seemed like everyone had their established relationships and friendships and, their churches that they go to or whatever communities that they're a part of. And she had a hard time kind of figuring out where she fits in because she didn't really have that at all. And I could totally relate to that, because when we moved here, I only knew one person that I went to college with, and I didn't even know him very well. I'd only seen him once or twice on a couple of group trips that we had been on in college. And other than that, I really had to start meeting people on my own, right? And so the coolest part about that was that it was a refreshing start. I didn't feel like I had to hang out with people who I've known forever just because they were in my life since I was a kid, that kind of thing. I got to be intentional about who I wanted to pick, who I wanted to hang out with. And that was the breakthrough that I told him, is like, now I've been so big on focusing on relationships. Like if you heard my last podcast on being a connector, I am attracting the people into my life that I want to hang out with and that I want to be like. And so I consistently am meeting with new people every single week that are, $1 million business owners, or they've got products doing multiple six figures a year on Amazon, things like that, that they've ranked products that they've created and brands that they've created. I'm just thinking through different people that I've been able to connect with recently. And the friends that I'm making now are doing so much more, and they inspire me to be such a better person than some of my friends I used to have back home that, couldn't wait for Friday and hated Mondays and lived for the weekend type thing, right? Because it's very important to focus on where you want to go. Stop looking backwards at where you've been in your history and your past, and start looking forward. And that's exactly why the windshield is bigger than your rear view mirror, because it's important for you to focus on where you're going, not where you've been. Imagine trying to drive a car by looking in the rear view mirror. You would crash in probably like 2 seconds, because you need to know what's in front of you, where you're going. What's behind you doesn't matter so much. I mean, yeah, you can learn from the lessons and things like that, but it doesn't really play much of a part. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I don't like to talk about what I could have done differently or what I wish I had done differently because it's too late. I can't change the past. All I can do is focus on where I want to go, who I want to be, what activities I need to take in order to become the person that I'd like to be. And so that's why I wanted to remind you in this episode to be the change that you wish to see in the world. Because if the world sucks, if you're tired of seeing the negativity on the news, be like that one Office dude, the guy who was on The Office. I never watched that show, but he had created that YouTube channel, Some Good News, SGN or something like that. Be that type of person who starts to share what you want to see more of in the world. And you can start to tune out those things that you're not so interested in or that drag you down. And as you become this person, instead of you being, this is, I have so many things that I'm just drawing upon from all the podcasts and books I've listened to, but I believe I heard Trevor Mock talk about this, the CEO of a website called Carrot, or a company called Carrot. Trevor had mentioned in one of his episodes that we can't be a tugboat for everyone. If you want other people to change, if you've leveled up and other people have stayed the same, you can't be the tugboat trying to pull them along because you are going to burn out. It's going to be so tiring trying to get everyone to come along and wake up at a certain time and get their workout in and stop eating crappy foods. It's a lot easier to improve yourself and be a lighthouse in a way where you are the lighthouse for everyone else who's lost in the sea, in the storm, whoever's trying to be like you or get to where you are or level up to keep up with you. They will be attracted to you, right? They won't crash upon the rocks or whatever if they're focusing on you as the lighthouse. So I love that example because I see this time and time again, people posting on Facebook just saying it's so tiring to help everyone out and everyone's trying to pull you down and they want help, but then they're not willing to take the actions that you tell them are necessary to get to where they want to go. Stop doing that. Stop being a tugboat. Start being a lighthouse and become the person that you want others to see and like that you'd like to be, that ideal version of yourself. You're going to start to attract more like-minded people, more like-minded individuals. And that's where your friend circles will change entirely. And you all motivate and inspire each other and push each other as opposed to whatever your current situation may be that you're not super happy with. So again, stop looking back, look forward. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to become? What activities would that ideal version of you do? And start to do those things. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the YouTube chat below. If you're on YouTube, if you're on the podcast, you can go over to YouTube and leave a comment if you'd like to engage with me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns or anything, feel free to DM me. My Instagram handle is chrisbello_. I do my best to get back to the non-spam DMs as quickly as possible. And with that said, I look forward to catching you on the next episode of the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. Thanks so much for your time and talk soon.